is a case that shocked and shook Kern County to its core. A sheriff's deputy sentenced to death for murdering 2 young sex workers. Now, that sentence has been overturned because of what the Supreme Court called false evidence. 17's Olivia Lavoie is joining us now with what she learned today. Olivia?
Jim, this case will always be well known throughout Kern County, particularly for the work of sheriff's detectives who had to investigate one of their very own for such a heinous act. But the county hasn't heard the last of David Keith Rogers. In the late 1980s, the bodies of a 20-year-old woman and a 15-year-old girl who both worked Union Avenue were found in the same Arvin Canal, both killed with the same weapon. Investigators soon linked the cases, but it was a bombshell when the killer turned out to be a sheriff's deputy, David Keith Rogers, someone who'd worked alongside the investigators. Rogers was tried and convicted of both murders, and in 1988, his penalty phase of the trial began, the time for jurors to decide if he should be sentenced to life without parole or death. They chose death. But about 10 years after that conviction, court documents say a key prosecution witness during the penalty phase recanted her testimony that Rogers had viciously raped her.
The trial judge said that Ms. testimony was perhaps the most shocking evidence he had heard in any case.
Attorney A.J. Cutchins, who's represented Rogers for over 2 decades, pointed out the physical description the victim gave never even closely fit David Rogers. Furthermore,
those specific descriptors did fit another man named Michael Ratzlaff, who was convicted of committing a virtually identical attack on another Union Avenue prostitute.
Cutchins says his prime suspect, Michael Ratzlaff, was murdered before they could ever question him. Ratzlaff is tied to several violent rapes, but was prosecuted and convicted for only one. In the same year, Rogers was also convicted of murder. Cutchins says he is extremely confident Ratzlaff is the man who raped the witness.
Under penalty of perjury, Ms. declared, quote, "I now believe my identification of Rogers was wrong."
But years after that, that witness went on to recant her recanted testimony, saying she was once again sure Rogers was her rapist. But an independent researcher for the Supreme Court said it didn't matter. Her testimony was unreliable. And furthermore, based on her physical description, it was unlikely Rogers was her assailant. The Attorney General's office fought to preserve the death penalty sentence. They argued Rogers would have gotten death regardless of that witness's testimony because Rogers was still found guilty of murdering 2 women. But the Supreme Court justices weren't so sure at a hearing last May.
You don't think it's any different when you have a victim recount it sort of in vivid technicolor in front of a jury to talk about the sexual assault, the humiliation that she suffered at the hands of the man sitting at counsel table? You don't think that hearing that in person and having a judge who hears testimony every day and describes that as impactful and shocking would mean to lay jurors that that was something they'll probably remember for the rest of their lives?
In light of this finding that the testimony was indeed untruthful, I think it's a heavy lift for you to say, oh, we're pretty sure they would have given him the death penalty anyway. You're convinced he would have gotten the death penalty anyway.
I absolutely am convinced he would have.
What happens if we're not?
The Supreme Court ruled last week that David Rogers' death penalty sentence should be overturned due to what they're calling false testimony. Now, one of 2 things could happen. The DA's office could decide to retry him strictly in the penalty phase, or a jury will have to decide if he should be sentenced to death or life without parole. The DA's office could also not retry it, and Rogers will be given a new sentence of life without parole. So far, the DA's office has not returned our calls for comment. Rogers is now 72 years old. There is much more to this historic local case. We'll continue to keep you updated. But for now, in studio, I'm Olivia Lavoie, 17 News.